What's happening, YouTube? How is everyone? I hope good. I am here today with a video on what makes a person seek revenge against another person. I want to know, and I bet you do too, because revenge sucks. Lately, I've noticed and experienced a lot of people doing this to me, seeking revenge against me for no freaking reason, or if they are doing it, it's for something really petty. Even for things like a person being jealous over the things I own, or even my hair, as crazy as that sounds. But people like you and I look at that being crazy. But to a lot of people, that isn't. That's the way that their brains think, which is hard for me to understand, and I'll tell you. So it led me to research why people that have tendency to be jealous over another seeks some kind of revenge against them. What would make a person even think about that, even if it was in this, the worst circumstances, or even if they kind of did have a reason to, why they decide to do that. What is revenge? Revenge is the act of inflicting harm or hurt on someone for an injury or wrong suffered in the hands of the other person. People feel that they have been attacked and suffered some unjust loss or injury. As a result, they are feeling anger, hate, jealousy, envy, or shame. They are humiliated, especially if they are made to feel powerless, foolish, ridiculous, stupid, or ashamed. The passion a person can feel is so strong and is sometimes overwhelming when they want to seek revenge against somebody. Revenge is twisted and conflicted, and at times it can be very dangerous. It is the desire to get even, an attempt to transform shame into pride, and can result in injury, harm, or less. People tend to seek out revenge to defend their honor, get even, payback, vengeance, or evening a wrong. The feeling as though it's justified, as in their eyes they consider it to be self-defense, like they're defending themselves by seeking this revenge. But in reality, it's a destructive response to anger or humility. Some might feel that they have exhausted all the other ways to handle the situation. So instead of just letting it go or moving on, they turn to revenge to handle whatever situation that they're going through. What most people don't realize is that most strategies of revenge tend to fail because they are attempting to change what has happened in the past, and we all know, obviously, we can't change the past. As once the damage is done, it's done. And if you really sit and think about it, the value of the loss or situation to the offended is seen as much greater than any benefit gained by the offender, which represents an unrecoverable loss to society in a whole. Successful strategies for revenge look into the future and recognize that the cycle of vengeance can only truly spiral towards tragedy. It's not going to go anywhere else. It's not going to solve the problem. It will fail because when a person is dominant, like if they're asserting dominance, I guess is what I'm trying to say, it does not increase the situation. It actually decreases it, but it increases violence. This is why we all need to learn to forgive, as forgiveness increases self-esteem. It actually helps decrease anxiety, anger, and any other feeling that they're feeling at the time. Why do people feel the need to seek revenge? Number one, restore their feeling of dignity and pride in their own eyes and in other people's eyes that are around them, I guess. Number two is restore their honor. 3, teach a person a lesson. 4, punish people. 5, obtain acknowledgement for the person they wronged, or from the person they wronged. Number 6, to get a sincere apology, which you would hope that you would already have had one if somebody did something, wrong. Number 7, to demonstrate their power. Number 8, to make the other person suffer and feel pain. Number 9, to transform themselves from prey to predator. And number 10, it's an act to be able to tell their side of the story and set the record straight, which I can understand that, but you don't need to seek revenge to do that. There is a lot of people that will go, when they seek, there's a lot of people that when they seek out revenge on someone, they don't understand that what they're doing can actually go, kind of spiral out of control and go way too far. People lose their lives and people end up in jail, prison, at times, and, I'm sure other things. So it leaves me wondering why someone cannot just let it go and let go of their ego and pride, set it aside, and take the easy road, which is the right one, and forgive and let go. I mean, that's just makes more sense to me, period, but not to everyone. It makes me think of the movie that Sally Field, she played a mom in it. It was An Eye for an Eye with Kiefer Sutherland playing, he was a grocery delivery man, and they were getting ready to have their daughter's birthday party. Sally Field was running all over town trying to get the little odds and ends, and the daughter was home setting up for the party. Well, the guy, which was Kiefer Sutherland, showed up, and he ended up, and no one else was home, so he ended up, pushing his way in. He ended up raping the little girl and killing her. Well, they go to court, and he gets off for some, I don't remember, something. But, so Sally Field, the rest of the movie is about her seeking revenge to either have him put in prison or to kill him. I mean, which is understandable as a parent. I can't say that's exactly what I would do, but it would be really hard for me not to do something, because I wouldn't want him to walk around doing the same thing to somebody else. And obviously he had just killed my child, so that's probably not the thing to do. But it isn't always something that is bad that makes people seek out revenge on someone. So is it a mental issue that causes it, or is it just out of anger, hate, that pushes people to act this way? There is such a thing as psychology revenge, which is a response to an injustice, and that's probably like what Sally Field was doing. They say that revenge is an act that is provoked by a wrong. There have been findings that show that it can deliver a jolt of pleasure to men. And during a study between men and women that engaged in an economic game in which either players played fair or unfair, they measured the activity of the participants' brains with a MRI as they watched the cheating players and the honest ones receive electric shock. Men and women reacted to punishing them in the same sense, which was associated with you could see their empathy in their brain, I guess, being activated. But, and it's a big but, when the bad guy was shocked, though the women disliked and disapproved of him, the empathy still in their brain was still activated, but not so much in the men. This doesn't mean that all the women were not vengeful towards this gentleman, but it showed that the men were a lot higher and reacted more with revenge. And how about narcissists? And revenge? I mean, what is the association with that, or how do they act? Narcissists are well known to be hell-bent on, revenge, and are low forgiving individuals and high revengeful individuals. As a researcher wrote, both the narcissist inflated social confidence and the narcissist's sense of entitlement could produce a desire to retaliate against wrongdoers and could reduce constraints on acting on this desire. There has been many of books written about narcissists and revenge, and tons of studies done that show that the most likely to seek revenge for sure are a narcissist, but there are everyday people that do it all the time too. So all I know is it isn't the right choice and can be very harmful to a person's life for sure. So let's try and pick the path of forgiveness instead of revenge, as all revenge does is guarantee you a big time karma to circle around and bite you right in the ass. And it harms the person that you're doing it to. No matter what that person has done to you or how you feel about that person, why set out to make their life miserable? Why set out to do bad things? What are you proving? And then what are you teaching your children, or your, what are you showing the people out that, look up to you, or whatever it is? All it does is make you look like an asshole. It makes you look like you have no self-confidence, no self-esteem in some cases. And it's just not the right thing to do. So instead, Fish, quit. Sorry about that. Puddles, knock it off. So instead of doing this, instead of making the wrong choice, make the right one. So then, Puddles, knock it off. So then you can be an example to others and show them that revenge isn't the right thing to do. If you are jealous of somebody and you want the things that they have, then you need to work harder to obtain those things. You need to stop worrying about what everybody else is doing, or what that person's doing to make their living, or how they do it. Or if you're jealous over somebody's hair, then go get your hair cut like it. If you like their clothes, ask them where they buy their clothes, and so on. There's always an answer to everything that you feel, and there's always a way to handle it in a proper way. It does not do you any good to hurt another person, because when you do that, that's what you're putting out into the universe, and that's what the universe is going to give back to you. The universe is not happy with us at all already, because people are so unkind to one another. They're so greedy. They're so jealous. They're so envy. You're not supposed to ever envy anyone. You're never supposed to be jealous over anyone. That is in the eyes of God. You need to seek out to love yourself, have more self-love, work harder. If that person has stuff that you want, or be honest with them. Just be like, hey, how did you obtain that? What are you doing? How can you, do you have any advice for me? Where do you get your hair cut at? How do you, where do you buy your clothes at? I'm sure that person is more than willing to help you, or, tell you, and they're not going to think, anything of it. But when you're seeking revenge and you're running their name in the dirt, or doing bad things, or, destroying their property or their cars or whatever else you're doing, that's when you are the ones that's looking like the bad person. You're not gaining your pride back. You might be in your own eyes, but in the outside world and under the eyes of the higher above, you're not. You're looking like the bad person. Plus, that person that you're jealous of or whatever doesn't deserve what you're doing to them. So I ask you personally to stop. And I'm sure all the other people that have had this done to them, or are having this done to them, or will in the future, are asking you that too. So just think about it. Maybe if you really have a huge problem with jealousy, or whatever your situation is, maybe go talk to a therapist and work through it, because revenge is not the answer for anyone at all. I hope that this video resonated to some people. I hope that it gave you a little bit of information that's helpful. I know it helped me to understand a little bit more, but it also just brought me back to my belief of forgiveness. But that's who I am. I'm not saying everybody has to be that way by any means. So I guess that's about it. I guess that's all I wanted to say today. So I hope everyone's doing really good. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you could please share the video, that would be great, because there's a lot of people that go through this each and every day. And I think that's about it. If you would like to leave a comment in my comments, please do so. I'm not sure what the sex things are being left in my comments, but whomever's doing that, if you don't stop, I'll just block you, because I don't appreciate it and I don't want that to be part of my channel. So anyways, everybody else, I really appreciate all your support and your comments. I really, really, really do appreciate them. And I hope that my videos are helping someone out there. If you guys would like me to touch on a topic, please leave it in the comments below, because I'd be more than happy to. If you want to become friends, you can email me at the healing, I can't remember it now, the healing power of the No, it's the healing power of divine universe at gmail.com. I'm sorry. I've changed that a couple times because it was so long, so I tried to shorten it, and so it's hard for me to remember. But if you would like to do that, we could start off, talking that way more, and it's more personable. And I would love to hear from you. So everybody have a wonderful day, and I love you all so very much. Many kisses. I'm sending much healing, positive vibes, and peace always. Be good to one another. Do something kind for somebody today, and don't be seeking revenge. Bye.